Boa noite, em clima de Natal e sem make-up. E hoje eu resolvi vir com a cara lavada para vocês e com muito amor. Aqui quem fala é Andy Vieira, The Social Girl, Andy The Social Girl. E hoje eu vou ter um convidado super especial. Nossa palestra toda aqui, nosso programa vai ser em inglês e a gente vai estar falando sobre resiliência, sobre como a gente sobrevive às coisas duras da vida. E é muito importante porque o inverno na Norte América deixa a gente muito deprimidos, principalmente nós latinos que viemos de terras tão calorosas, né, maravilhosas, e aí a gente acaba se deparando com esse frio horroroso, né, que põe a gente para baixo. So tonight I'm honored to have Anderson Angus with us. He's a stage 4 cancer survivor 2 times, and he has been through a lot, like transplants, and I don't know where and how he found strength to survive everything and to help others. And so welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm here as a two-time cancer survivor. I'm a passionate mental health advocate, and I'm the founder of the Anderson Foundation. The Anderson Foundation for me is dear to my heart. I'm not only the founder, but I'm also a participant. I'm actually, an advocate for it. I'm here to share my journey, spread awareness, and foster a community of support. And I just want to embark on a meaningful conversation right now and get everybody involved if we can with you. So I'm ready whenever you are. Where do we start? I'm ready.
So, who's Anderson?
Who am I? Ooh. Well, Angus Anderson. I am somebody who I think has overcame so much. We were talking before the show, and who am I? I'm going to start back way before my cancer time. You were talking about mental health and depression and the medication and stuff like that. And in 2008, I was on many medications. I was on about 6. I don't know, sertraline and all these olanzapans and this and that. Um, um, I am a person who learned to cope over the span of from 2008 to about 2012. I was able to beat all the medication and was able to cope. Um, Now, what makes me Anderson and makes me headstrong is I needed all that medication just to live my life and, you know, be happy and just, like everybody else does. I was just taking them. Um, in
And
2016,
you were a roofer, a very well succeeded guy in your field.
I was a roofer my
Tons of
whole life.
money and
Pardon?
having like the dream life, young and everything else, and you were on medication thinking life was garbage, like all of us, right? Because at some point I believe everybody goes through that.
I believe, like I believe money doesn't make us happy, and I'm living proof. I was a successful roofer, 100 hours a week. I'm making 5,500 a week, but that wasn't what was making me happy. That doesn't make you happy. The money doesn't make you happy. All that money, all that stuff doesn't make you happy. You can get all that back when you lose it. What the most important thing in your life and my life and your life, and I think we can all agree, is time. That's the only thing in our life we can never get back. So, my time as a roofer was fantastic. The money was great, and but I believe my depression stemmed because I was not happy internally doing that, or living that life. When you're a roofer and you work like I did, there's guys that work and leave at 4 o'clock. I would be there till 9, 10 o'clock. So I believe I wasn't happy in that life, but I was very successful. While I was doing that life, I was happy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when I look at it now, I don't think that I was truly happy. But while I was living that life and driving and doing all that, I think I faked it pretty well, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I got it.
Um, yeah, but like I was saying, I learned to cope, and then I got blood cancer in 2000. I think it was 15 or 16.
Uh-huh.
And I think you might have known, I went to the Marsden Center. That's in, and we did some infusions, some artesunate and some glutathione. And I was bleeding from my arm. I was bleeding from everywhere. I had like tumors on my skin, like you wouldn't believe. The sad part is it was not covered by any medical people. So I worked every day, and then I would go there for an 8-hour infusion. I don't know if anybody knows what an infusion's like. When you get one for 6 hours or 8 hours, you feel drained. You feel like a you feel like a bag of crap the next day. And I would have to get up and go to work because nobody else was going to pay for that. And I got through that, and I never got back to those depression medications or anything. And, I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of anxiety going through it. It wasn't easy, but, I learned to cope, and I used those mechanisms, and I fought through that. And, that's another thing that made me Anderson, I guess, and headstrong. I got through it. I got back to work. I actually got a raise. I became more of a foreman. A lot of the things with my kids were going on, but this is more of my head, right? In 2019, this is something that I'm going to tell everybody now. If you're working for a company, a big company, it doesn't matter how big they are or what you think, they're never going to take care of you. I got hit hard in the face. I didn't realize how hard I got hit. My lymph node exploded. So I told my work that I possibly have cancer because I had cancer previously. So I wanted to go to the hospital and get it checked. When I went to the hospital, they found out that I fractured my jaw in 2 places and I broke 6 teeth. I had damage to my wisdom teeth. Like everything was just broken. So when I went back to my work to tell them, and now I worked 100 hours a week every day, they told me I did it at home. So they fired me. They let me go because now I was a problem to them or something. And then the union let me go. So basically, with that broken jaw, I had to pay everything through the nose to get through it. And, my head, I went headstrong again. And I thought to myself, these people, they screwed me over. The only way I'm going to get through this is I need to beat this and get to the other side, because no matter whenever you're walking through hell, you never ever stop and sightsee. And that was my goal. I wanted to get through it. Still coping with all that head stuff. I started to urinate blood, and then that's when the big one came. And I was in Mount Sinai. They moved me right next door to Princess Margaret, which I have big respect for. They took care of me. I had a 37-page pathology report. I had over 40 tumors. They were sarcoma, plasmatoid. They removed 3 organs. They manipulated another one. I had 5 cycles of chemo. Still coping with everything, and I'm here today, still coping. So, making $5,500 a week worked out to a good check every month. When they fired me and let me go, I only got $1,400 a month since 2019. So if anybody understands how hard it is to remain headstrong when you're financially in ruins and you have children that you have to try and feed, it's tough. So, there's a lot of aspects of this that I had to push through that I think, maybe more headstrong.
And before we start the show, I want to share with everyone here that I was just sharing for the first time with him. Like we had lunch like 2 weeks ago, I think so, and he was sharing with me everything, and he doesn't take pain medication, right?
No
So,
medication.
and I'm a person that I cannot handle pain. Like if I go to dentist, I'm arrived there. Please freeze, freeze me.
That was tough. Honestly, Andrea, I'm the same. And the dentist with the teeth and stuff, when you break your jaw, it's on another level of pain. Like
I cannot even imagine. Like for me, it's like pain is something that like you put me calm, like no pain, everything is good. I can handle any situation, but don't let me feel pain. Like when I was having my daughter, it was a natural birth, and then the girl came to me and said, the nurse came and said, listen, if you take your epidural right now, it's going to be a C-section for sure. And I was like, whatever, no pain.
Yes.
So they gave me the epidural, and then like 2 hours later, my daughter was born, like natural birth, no pain, no nothing. And then I was like, okay. 30 minutes later, I was walking the hospital. But like,
Yeah.
don't allow me to feel pain because I cannot handle things. So, uh, and then inspired on you, I came home and I was talking with my husband, and then I was like, see, he can handle this with the whole picture, right? And I have my depression problems, and for me, it's really hard because I had this bariatric surgery 20 years ago, and since then, like I don't absorb things as a normal person. So I don't absorb iron, I don't absorb like everything. So I had to supplement everything. And because of that, I have my depression worse than what was normal, right? So I started taking Salaxa. And then to a point, I was taking so high that I was having um, check the heart every 2 months to see if it was a.
Like anxiety and yeah,
And
blood
then
pressure.
I start lowering, 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 and I was on half dose. And then after seeing you and you telling me everything, I was like, no, I have to do this because I was already thinking about my future and how it can affect dementia and all the stuff. And we have to deal with all those mental issues that we have. And it has to be another way that doesn't have those chemical medications. And because of you, I cut the dose and lower again. And now I'm at the minimum because I have to go step by step to the withdrawal. And that's when Javier cut us. Well, thank you, Javier. You see, now we can have the whole thing here. So uh, now I'm having the withdrawal symptoms,
Yes.
and it's crazy. I never imagined that I will have withdrawal symptoms in my
They're
life.
the hardest. They're the hardest thing to beat. Like I swear to you, I've seen people like shaking and just not being able to function. And yeah, I totally agree.
And then it was funny because I had my family here this weekend, and I went to have the iron, and then my nephews were like, "Oh, so you're just like Wolverine?" And I was like, "Huh?" And then I was like, I had kind of Wolverine hair a couple of years ago, and they show me the movie when they inject iron on him, right? And that's pretty much how you feel the pain everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Every single muscle of your body feels the pain of the iron. And then I was like, okay, I have to post that. That's the perfect explanation for people to understand. Because, like, when I follow you on your social media and we talk, like I still didn't have the whole picture of everything you were going through. And then
yeah.
when we sit together, we have a coffee, lunch, then you go over and then you share things with me. Uh, and this is where things fall together for me. And this is how important it is, the Angus Foundation.
It is. I'm writing a book as well. It's called Break the Silence. Because I had a little bit of a rough upbringing, which like I said, everything in my life has brought me to be who I am, and I believe that I did have it tough growing up, but I think that's also part of what made me who I am today. Um, I can't. I've been working on the book. I don't know when it's. I'm hoping in a month or two. I
Uh-huh.
hope. I hope. But yeah, with the pain thing, when I went in before they gave me all the pain, I had the catheter for 3 months, and I had pain anyways, and I looked at the doctor. It was Dr. Kulkarni from Princess Margaret. He's a magician. I'll talk about him a bit after. But when I looked at him, I told him that before the surgery, this is my wish. And he looked at me and he said, okay. And I said, I don't want pain medication after I leave and go home. I said, I want to feel the operation. I do not want to feel the withdrawal. I do not want you to up my levels. I do not want to be in my bed 2 years from now, still trying to get off. And he says, well, you're having 3 organs removed and you're having another one manipulated. So I had an epidural too. So I had an epidural. They had me on hydromorphine for, I believe, 4 days.
The catheter
Straight.
in the back.
Yeah, in the back. It's like 4 days straight in the back. And then when I came out, I saw my mom. I saw people. I had a button. I talked to the nurse and I said to the nurse, I want to go home. I couldn't walk yet. I'm like, I want to go home. They're like, well, you can't be on any pain medication to go home, the doctor said. I guess that was my wish because he said you have to be off the pain meds to go home. So I went headstrong, and within 4 days, I home. I asked them to decrease. So I decreased. My button was 18 milligrams the first day. I know because I was trying to beat it. The second day was only 10 milligrams for the whole day. The third day was 6 milligrams for the whole day. And the last day, pretty much I was there, was only 2 milligrams. And when they sent me home with 5 1 milligram pills. That's it. And I'm glad they did. I had 37 staples, 190 internal stitches, and I had 2 stoma bags. So my whole abdomen and everything was just, it looked kind of like chop suey. So to get in and out of bed, to be able to watch TV, everything was was just a complete battle. But I took those 1 milligrams. I took one a day, so only 1 milligram one day. The pain was really high, but I held off. I did it every 24 hours. And then after the last one was done, it was 24 and then 48 hours. And honestly, I thought I was headstrong. I was crying, but I really thought I was going to die. I thought the pain was really, really high. I called the hospital. Like, people say, how do you never give up? I thought of it a few times, don't get me wrong. But they told me, they said, that was your wish. And, as doctors, we agree, you can do this. They told me, Dr. Kulkarni and Dr. Shadar talked to me and they said, you can do this and this is your wish. So you can do it. And I pushed through, and the first month was tough, but after I got through that first month, it wasn't as bad. And it's not like things got better. They pulled the staples out. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks. And I had a big, huge gash that they had to stuff every week at home. And nothing got easier. I think I just got stronger. I'll be honest. Nothing got easier. In fact, I think it got harder, but I got stronger. So, the resilience built up with me, so they made me catheterize myself as a man. That was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life.
For me, you are the definition of unstoppable. Like when I see you, and then when you told me that you're gonna do the mud run,
I did it.
Because fuck you guys, you don't know who did the mud run. Like, you see, for all you potato couch lazy people that are watching us, like, if you're thinking like, oh, I need to lose weight, I don't have strength, oh my gosh, what I can do. The guy survived everything and run the mud race.
And people say to me, okay, it's funny you say that, because I watch people every day and I go to the gym. Obviously, I train, and and people, they look at me and I see them, they're on the treadmill every single day, and they look at me and they say, what's the secret? I've been running. I'm like, my secret is I'm eternally happy. And, with eternal happiness, you become headstrong. And nobody seems to understand that headstrong, your body will follow you. I've been through some serious trauma and I still got my six pack. I'm still looking, I'm still running the Tough Mudder. It's all about being headstrong. These people are depressed running on the treadmill. Like it's,
Yeah, because
every
first of
day, every
all,
day. Oh, I'm working on myself, but they're really not. They're not working on themselves. They're
no,
faking it. They're pretending to work on themselves.
no.
They're videotaping themselves working on themselves and then doing 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So,
And even if they do 2 hours,
yep.
it's not how you work on yourself. Is not being there. It's like if you're not like fully in that moment and really working on yourself, like from inside to outside, it's useless.
Yeah, I honestly think that I was thinking about, when people say to you, you should treat others. I mean, others should treat you, how you want to be treated or this and that. And I don't believe that. I believe that you should treat yourself the way you want to be treated. In my experience, any bully that's bullying someone, everybody jumps on the kid and bullies with them. If you're going to bully yourself, why the hell is anybody else not going to, if you're going to disrespect yourself, be disloyal. Like that's one of the biggest thing people are now is disloyal to themselves. They say they're going to do something, they don't do it. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. And their excuse is always to me, their excuse is, oh, I live once. But that's not true either. That's really not true. You actually live every day. Every day you wake up, the choices that you make today are going to happen tomorrow. So it's not, oh, I'm living once. No, you're going to wake up tomorrow and realize how stupid you were the day before. You don't live once.
Regretting and
You live every
regretting.
single day. And if you don't live every day, you will not be eternally happy. And that's the truth, right? That's the key to being headstrong is you have to be eternally happy and your body's going to follow. You're going to be healthy. You gotta take care of yourself. You're absolutely right.
Tell me, give me your Instagram.
My Instagram is Stan Sure Anderson. Stan Sure Anderson is dear to my heart as I'm Scottish. That's where I get my strength. We have something called the family crest in Scotland. I don't know if anybody knows that. The Anderson Foundation is the tree of life, and it has the Anderson Foundation. Little does everybody know the Anderson family crest is the tree of life. It's one of the biggest family crests in Scotland. Um, so that's where I get my Stan Sure Anderson from. Is our family crest is stand sure with the tree of life, and for my whole life, I will always stand sure. We should always stand sure. Be sure of yourself always.
Yeah.
It's the key. You need to be. Never second guess yourself. It's the way it should be.
I'm always speechless talking with you because like you inspire me so much and it's so amazing. Like I completely agree with everything you say and how you live because for me it's like life is based on choices, right? And it's pretty much like the mindset you say, like everything I choose to do today, it's gonna affect me like for life.
Oh,
So
yep. And tomorrow, like people say they live once, it's not like that.
yeah.
Not like that.
And I believe like people that surround us, right? A couple of things. Like the first thing is that they choose what they do, right? It's
Absolutely.
and we cannot change them. So we choose to accept them and keep them or drop them from our lives. And this is something very important
Absolutely.
because to be healthy, especially mentally healthy, right? We
Yes,
have to
absolutely.
drop some people from our lives.
Absolutely. There are people in our lives, and you know what?
It's not
Nowadays,
because you're mean.
nowadays in this time, it's even our family.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not because you're mean or you're bad, you think you're better than someone.
You gotta protect your spirituality. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect your head in order to become who you want to become. If you're going to become who you want to become, right?
And seeing you, I just saw you on another event. That was Laura's event.
Yes, yes. The leukemia lymphoma, light the
Yeah.
night. Yes, it was a beautiful event. I want to host events like that as well. Like that was a beautiful event. That was awesome. Yes.
And it was really good to see you guys together. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't tell you this before. When I saw you on the pictures with your mom, with little Connie, and then I saw the pictures, and then there was this lady beside you, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy he's dating. It was Panis.
Yeah, we met there. Yeah, we did. We met there.
Because I didn't recognize her on the pictures. And then I was like, oh my gosh, his life is full. Like, oh my gosh, he met someone and he didn't say me anything. Like, I was so happy. And then after we had lunch, and then you told me, oh, I met Panis, like, na 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 na. And then I went to check the pictures because that day I saw her before meeting you. And then she told me too, like, met him. And then I was like, okay. It's not a date. It was Panis. It was amazing because she's another very important mental health.
I actually went to one of her events as well and spoke at one of her events as well.
The Uplift event.
Yeah, that was a good event as well. I was there, yes.
And so people in our community, in the Latino community, if you're going to have an event, and we all know that we all understand English. So please, if you want to have Anderson in your event, contact him. After we finish the interview, we're going to post his Instagram. And
I have an email too for the foundation. It's AngusAndersonFoundation@gmail.com. Pretty simple. AngusAndersonFoundation@gmail.
And if you have a business and you want to sponsor his foundation, you can always donate your taxes money for the foundation. So you can talk with him, and that's the best thing to do, because he's helping, supporting other people by sharing his journey. And instead of giving money to the government that's going to burn it, you give for someone that's going to make the difference, right?
Absolutely. My story, I have a couple investors now that are trying to help me get it off the ground. It's almost licensed.
If you want to share them, to thank them, like, this space is all yours, right?
Okay, yes, I will. Yes, there's Boston Pizza in Rutherford. We're going to be hosting an event there November 30th. That's on Thursday, and you're going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're all going to be there.
Is going to be there. People love
everybody's going to be there. So if you're not there, you're not a somebody. How about that? Everybody's going to be there. If you're not there, you're not somebody. So yeah. Then there's Vince at Lighthouse. He's another great person. We have Eddie B. He's fantastic. We're all going to be there to make this event take off. I forget where I was going, but we're going to have prizes. We're going to have raffles. There's going to be hopefully a lot of singers. I'm going to try to sing, but I have jaw surgery in the morning on November 30th. Oh my God. I'm still repairing my, funny. Okay. It's not funny. I always say funny story, but really it isn't when people hear it, but a piece of my jaw fell out the other day. So it's a little bit painful. As you know, I broke it. So I had reconstructed. A piece came out. It's pretty painful, but it's nothing it's nothing like what I've been through. So it's not a big deal. So I'll go get it fixed on the 30th and come and try and sing if I can.
Oh, see, unstoppable.
Yeah, it's okay. It's sore. It's sharp, and I don't know. It's just another thing, yeah. So there's Vince. There's Boston Pizza, and they've already donated quite a bit. And there's one thing I'm going to mention as well is Boston Pizza was one of my big sponsors that helped me do the first annual Tree of Cancer, the run, and we'll talk about that. He actually came down to the run, and every UFC prior the run, the owner, Steve, I'm not gonna say his last name, but Steve is the owner. He owns the Bell's Pizza. He actually allocated someone to run a fundraiser for us, and we collected, $1,000 in 4 UFC nights, and we gave it to Dr. Kulkarni. So he's involved in the second year. So we're looking for more sponsors. We want to get, we want to have a big team next year into the second annual.
Mhm.
The one thing about the Tree of Life Cancer Run, and this is why it's part of my Anderson Foundation, is I look to put people who passed away on the back of our shirts. A lot of those people lost the battle, and when I run that day, I don't quit. I'm doing 15K. I'm doing 30 obstacles. There's no turning around, and I'm not going to quit. So that day when I cross the finish line, they all come across the finish line with me as well. And that day they won with me. Um, so it's a really heartfelt thing. So if anyone wants to get involved, that'll be happening next year in September. I think it's September 14th of next year. That will be a great event as well. I just thought I would say it.
I
Yeah.
never shared with you, but like my grandpa on my mother's side, he passed away with cancer. It was 2000, and I was living in New York. I just had moved to New York. My mom was sitting on my couch talking with my grandma, and my grandma said, we went to the doctor, and the doctor said he needs to talk with you when you come back. And that day, I'll never forget. My mom sitting in my couch, and she returned to Brazil, and then she called me, and she said they gave him like 6 months. There is nothing to do because it was on the esophagus and had spread everything already. And they tried to. My grandpa was a huge guy. It was like 2 meter, and
Yeah.
and he was huge. He was massive, like fat, big, and he was the strongest guy. I didn't see him through the process because I was living in New York, and I booked it to go back end of July to Brazil. He passed away 1 week before I arrived here.
Oh, sorry to hear.
And they did everything, but it was very cruel because like here, when you have cancer here, there is a point you cannot eat, right?
Yes, it closes.
Yeah, they put the surgery
A
to
stent.
launch the thing, the stent. I don't know the names in English.
Yeah, the stent. Yeah.
So they try everything, but he passed away very skinny because he was a person that I'll cook like ham and cheese sandwich on the the oven
Yeah.
for him, like, and I was always cooking around when I was serving him, like, and he was happy, and that's how at least I remember him. But I know how cruel it is when and we were talking about mental health, and by that time, like in 2000, right, the patients had no, especially like in Brazil, nobody talk about mental health, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. For me, like, before my surgery, I was 177 pounds, and I had only 9% body fat. I was like, seriously something to be reckoned with, if you know what I mean.
uh-huh.
When I went in for my surgery, I lost 22 pounds that night, 14 hours. They removed the bladder,
Hmm.
they removed the prostate, they removed 19 of 21 lymph nodes. I had nerve sparing lymph node removal, but I had so much cancer, I didn't have very much nerves to save. So I only have 2 lymph nodes left, which, at my age is tough. Like, the psychology wise, the mentally wise, everything wise, it's a little different for me. And then they cut my bowel in half and they made a new bladder.
Hmm.
In terms of, like, something else that made me headstrong, and it was funny because you said, "Oh, Angus is dating and blah blah blah." Well, prior to my surgery, now this I was seeing somebody for 4 years, really close, like really close. I actually, like, even changed my will, everything before my surgery, which is really crazy. Um, they ended up staying with me the night before surgery. It was really, like, I felt really, close. After I lived, they broke up via text. So at that point, when you can't walk, you can't move. And now that my prostate, everything is just ruined. There's a point now where even I went to a men's mental health retreat I had a bunch of men, and I'm like, so how guys, so I'm not ready yet anyways, but I'm like, so in my position, after what I've went through, the trauma, and then that trauma, how the hell do you start even thinking of something like that, right? Like it's the trauma was heavy all the way through. Like everything was like hitting me on every front. And that was one of the worst because you figure someone was going to be there to take care of everything after or whatever. Who knows what was going to happen if I didn't make it then? You know what I mean? It's like, who
God,
knows?
you didn't pass the weight because like that bitch like doesn't deserve a penny. Like I'm
Well, I probably didn't even need it. It was, I don't know what it was, but it's not even about that. It's just the
no,
mental
it is because
the
like
mental health that it like what it did to me.
your
Like I was
kids
at
need
home
you.
laying there with staples and I had no I had my mom and stuff, but like no one. Like, I had that's when my mind was like, bro, you have no one except for this guy. You have this guy. This guy right here, he needs to help you. And
You have three angels that need you.
yeah, so I had to turn up the heat at that point. And yeah, so I got through all that, but I never really got through that trauma up until recently. I've been, you know,
Hmm.
fighting my demons with that, thinking that there was something because when someone does that, and with no
It's not
explanation,
about you, it's about her.
that's what I mean. But with no explanation, and
Doesn't
you know,
matter. Like I spent 2 years. Like I had a fiance, and we broke, and I spent 2 years looking for an answer. Like it was something with me, right?
yep,
As like we broke, like we were 6 months to let's get married, and then I was like, it was something on me, right? Because we always make us feel guilty, and
but
then
this was like I went to sleep not knowing if I was going to wake up. You
and,
know,
and then it wasn't. It was zero about me,
yeah.
and then like I waste like my time thinking about it, and like really not enjoying my life and like feeling less
Always second guessing yourself,
because someone made
never
me feel
dressing
this
up.
way, right? And because the person didn't had like the power to come and say like, listen, this problem is with me, like that's why I'm doing this in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then I was like, because when I saw the thing was not getting the way we planned it, I said, listen, if you're not sure, just grab your stuff. I'm going out for a coffee in 4 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you here. And he left. And then, like, to understand that, I thought, like, wow, I was nothing, right? Because that's how you feel, right? The same
Oh,
way you receiving a text.
yeah.
You're in a hospital bed and you're receiving a text.
No,
Like,
I was at home. I made it home.
so
I was at
yeah,
home.
like you were like laying down, like,
I
and
didn't even have a nurse around me. I had no one. That's what I mean by it would have been better if I would have got the text in the hospital
yeah,
because then, but I was at home. I was at home. There was, like they always ask me, are you a fighter or a lover? And I always tell people, what good is love if you don't fight for it? And I was unable to, completely unable to. And I think God was making it that way because it wasn't meant to be.
yeah,
Um,
like
you understand what I mean? I don't think I was meant to be able to fight
in,
for that one.
in
So
Portuguese and for the Latinos, we call this livramento. When God frees you from something that's gonna be bad for you.
and I think that's maybe what it was because for since that time I've been down. So lately I've been up, not down because I'm always up, but like internally, like, just down on myself. I was kind of always looking for something to upgrade myself. Like
Mhm.
anything like just, but
Yeah,
I
but
think I
just
think
like
I've healed. I think I've healed from it. I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling much better.
Mhm.
Another one of my sponsors, let me just show you because is DreamWorks tattoos, which people I'm sure know a lot about them. They're a really big
Uh-huh.
place. And when I went to them after I beat cancer, so we're gonna go back to before the Tree of Life cancer.
Uh-huh.
I went to them, and they're really good friends of mine. I went in and I asked Julian. I said, Julian, I beat cancer, and I explained the story. He's like, "You're a warrior." He couldn't believe what I had the story. Right there, he was like, "Let's do it."
Uh-huh.
So he sponsored me in the run, the Tree of Life Cancer Run, and part of it was he was gonna get me a nice tattoo for me, and give me a
Mhm.
tattoo to remember. And we went and we got it started. It's here on my chest. They did it. It was a nice job. It's actually the date of my surgery. Um, and this is just a little scripture. It's something that it means a lot to me, and it's one of the truest things ever. Is you'll never your true strength until your strength is all you have to live with. So it's we're a little different, but like basically that's it. And it's a fact, because like people say to me, I don't know how you did that. Until it's actually like here, you will never be
Mhm.
able to even imagine what I went through. But I'm pretty sure everybody's just as strong as me, and they'd be able to do it. But you know, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I have doubts because you're amazing. Like, and it's just like what I told you. Like you have no idea how many people you are inspiring by sharing your journey. Like even for me, like having that lunch with you, I came back and I was like, no, I can do it. No,
Right.
I'm gonna do it because like he's strong enough and he's pushing. So it's pretty much like we should do a journal, and it's accountability. Like I have to do my part.
Okay.
Right.
I'm in. I'm in. It's not only you. I actually, like I said, I was trying to reach out to the investors before, and that's where I was going. I remember I just got off topic, but without the foundation up and licensed yet, I've already helped two people in the United States. They've reached out to me through Instagram on my stature, and I'm telling anybody now, if you have a problem, you're having mental health problems, if you need someone to talk to, you can always message me on there. It's Stansher Anderson
Mhm.
anytime. Um, the first person I've helped over there, I'm not going to say anybody's name. I'm just going to, but because I'm pretty sure they're watching too, because, they're grateful. I'm grateful. You see, the funny thing is, they're grateful for what I did for them, and I'm grateful for them doing what they did for them. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? I am grateful for their smile. Um, you know, I didn't do much except for give him a little coaching, a little help or whatever. But the one guy, he's in Texas. He reached out to me a few weeks before his surgery. He had pretty much the same surgery. He lost his bladder. He lost his prostate. He didn't lose 19 lymph nodes. I think he lost 9 or something. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, he called me. I coached him through. Um, he served in the military 3 times, so he's not a weak guy. He's not, Um, but I coached him through. I told him about the painkillers. Don't take it. He didn't take any painkillers. I swear to God, this guy did fantastic. He's back. I believe he's working again. I believe he's back doing whatever. He rocked through it like I would not believe. The catheterization, he blew through that. I believe that, and like he says, the awareness before his operation, being able to talk to me and find out what's going to happen, and it wasn't exactly the same, but at least he had a journey to look at and something to see, and so he got through it, and he's doing really well. And for the investors and the sponsors out there, I am going to be flying him here next year for the second annual Tree of Life Cancer Run, and I'm hoping he's going to wear his military here, and we're going to run together.
Mhm.
So that's an amazing thing that I can't wait for. And as well, one more person in Michigan. So this person in Michigan,
Mhm.
I didn't know they lived in Michigan until recently. 3 months ago, they let me know they were having a problem with alcohol. They were losing their like people around them and stuff like that. Um, I gave them, I told them they, should go to, the rehab or whatever. And, funny thing is, they messaged me and they went. They gave in their phone. She took my phone number. to call me for support for when she was in there. She was gone for a few months, I believe. I can't recall how many, but I
Mhm.
recently just got the message 3 days ago. She's out. She got out. She's now alcohol free. And she sent me a picture of her smiling. And she got out just in time for her daughter's wedding, which made me so happy. I have goosebumps right now. And she also was very open with me and told me, she's not going to the reception because she's too fresh out of, and
Mhm.
she wants to remain strong, and she's very grateful for me. So, this foundation thing, my story getting out, listening to you and the stories and the feedback that I'm getting, this is something that I think is going to benefit a lot of people in the future,
Mhm.
you know? Um, yeah.
It's amazing and it's so important because you are a truly inspiration, right? And it for me it's like, and for thousands of people outside, is like he did it, like I can do it, my thing.
Yes. And at first, when I first did this, I didn't think that was a thing. I didn't think that that really mattered. But the more people that I talk to, and the more people I inspire, I realize that we need people like that out here. I didn't have that. I didn't know anybody to inspire me through this. I did this all on my own. This is why I can teach it.
When I resumed my career, when I moved to Canada, I was not supposed to work because was my husband didn't wanted me to work. And then when I decided to resume my career and start painting, I started from my unfinished basement and zero money and zero everything, right? Zero networking.
Zero.
So I started, was 2013 and March, and it was from zero. And by 2015, 14 to 15, I found a TED talk from a swimmer called Diana Niad. Now that is the Netflix. She just
Okay.
released her journey, and it was about her swimming. 63 years old, swimming from Cuba to Key West, the first human to do that without a shark cage and everything. And she decided to do, she was 60. And she failed a couple of times, she almost died. And when she was 63, she completed, because she had tried that before when she was 28 with the
Mhm.
cage and so on. And she was not able to complete. And by 60, was like, why are you trying this now? It's totally crazy. Like, you're 60.
She did it though.
So for me, watching her talking about her journey inspired me never to quit my work journey. And it was amazing because now she released the movie on Netflix, and I could share with more people that she was my truly inspiration not to quit.
Mentor. Yes.
We need people to
Mm,
inspire
mm.
us, to push us, to tell us that it's possible.
Yes, anything is possible. We know that. That's for sure. Right? I don't know. I came from a really tough time, and it feels good to be out of it. And I'm at that point where I'm at zero. I have zero of zero, but I do have me. So, hey, I'm here. I'm alive. And the one thing about being at the bottom is the only place you can go is up, 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 up. So,
And what you gonna sing on Thursday? Like, you're gonna have to sing something. Like, even if it's "Let It Go," we sing together.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, little Con is gonna be there. Oh, I know what we're gonna sing.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah, everyone watching Thursday at Boston Pizza Rutherford in Vaughan. We're gonna
By
have
the Von
this.
Mills.
Okay.
Right by Von Mills. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, and it's like everybody knows Boston Pizza, amazing food, nice prices. You enjoy a night there,
We'll
and
be
you
there.
donate money for the Angus Foundation, and also you go there and sing with us. It's gonna have like a bunch of interesting people, not only him, but we're gonna have also. I don't know him in person. It's Eddie, right?
Eddie will be there. Yes. Eddie,
Yeah,
yes.
and
He's
Vince
the
is
one
all
making the videos.
Vince is going to be there. Everybody knows Vince, amazing life and health coach. And we wait for you guys there.
Steve will be there, the owner of Boston Pizza as well.
Steve, of course.
He wants to meet everybody. He wants to, you know, be involved. So he's there.
So thank you so much for the interview, for your time with us. And I'll see you Thursday.
All right. See you Thursday.
Thank you again. Have a
wonderful day. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Bye.